Roof Max of Hickory. Affordable roof rejuvenation. Visit MakeMyRoofLast.com.
The individuals depicted have been arrested but not convicted at the time of story postings. This information does not infer or imply guilt of any actions or activity other than their arrest. We make no warranty or guarantee as to the accuracy of this data. This is the Crime Report on the WHKY News. I'm Ralph Mangum. Rob Eastwood gets us started with some courtroom news today, as a Conover teenager will serve a minimum prison sentence of 5 years for sexual offenses involving a minor female victim. Here's Rob.
The defendant entered a guilty plea here at Catawba County Superior Court in Newton on Monday. 18-year-old Kyle Vernon Sidney pleaded guilty to second-degree forcible rape on Monday and received a prison sentence of 5 to 10 years. The offenses occurred while the defendant was a juvenile, but the cases were transferred to Superior Court for prosecution. Sidney was also given a suspended sentence of 16 to 29 months with 36 months of probation after pleading guilty to incest. If activated, that sentence will run at the conclusion of the first active sentence. In addition, Sidney was ordered to register as a sex offender for a period of 30 years, receive sex offender treatment, and to never have contact with the victim. The offenses occurred between April and October of 2023, when the defendant was 16 years old and the victim was 15. One of the sexual assaults occurred in the home of the legal guardian, and the other took place in a swimming pool. Sidney admitted what he had done during an interview with law enforcement. The victim's claims were substantiated by a forensic interview conducted at the Children's Advocacy and Protection Center of Catawba County. The Conover Police Department investigated this case. So once again, a 5 to 10 year prison sentence for Kyle Vernon Sidney, who entered a guilty plea on Monday in Catawba County Superior Court to second-degree forcible rape. Reporting from the Catawba County Justice Center in Newton, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
Thank you, Rob. More from the courtroom now. 31-year-old Jonathan Ray Cutler of Taylorsville was sentenced to a minimum of 2 years in prison in an attempted kidnapping case. He also entered a guilty plea to drug charges in Iredell County and received prison time in that case as well. Cutler was sentenced to 24 to 38 months in prison during a recent session of Alexander County Superior Court. He entered an Alford plea to attempted second-degree kidnapping and assault on a female. In an Alford plea, a defendant maintains innocence while formally pleading guilty. The defendant acknowledges that the prosecution's evidence would likely convince a jury or judge of their guilt, but does not admit to committing the crime. The offenses occurred on June 18th of last year. Cutler was arrested on June 24th by the Alexander County Sheriff's Office. Cutler also pleaded guilty in Iredell County Superior Court to possession with intent to sell or deliver meth and felony maintaining a place for a controlled substance. According to the North Carolina Department of Adult Correction, Cutler's projected release date is June 24th, 2026. He is currently in custody in Tabor City, North Carolina. WHKY's Arianna Mack has more courtroom news, this one involving an Iredell County trafficking case.
A Statesville man received a minimum sentence of just under 6 years in prison in an Iredell County drug case. 45-year-old Randall Carr pleaded guilty to trafficking in opium or heroin and 6 counts of possession with intent to sell or deliver cocaine. He was sentenced to 70 to 93 months in prison and was ordered to pay a $50,000 fine. Carr's arrest was the culmination of a Statesville Police Department investigation initiated as the result of citizen complaints about illegal drug activity at an address on Glade Street. After investigators and officers conducted surveillance and made undercover purchases of crack cocaine from that location, a search was conducted on February 6, 2024. Officers seized close to 30 grams of cocaine, 105 dosage units of oxycodone, and 11 grams of marijuana. U.S. currency and drug paraphernalia were also seized. Carr is serving his sentence at Piedmont Correctional Institution in Salisbury. I'm Arianna Mack for WHKY.
Thank you, Arianna. One more to wrap it up today. 22-year-old Tyrone Javel Parter of Troy, North Carolina, has been arrested by Hickory police on 2 counts of trafficking in methamphetamine, along with single counts of maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for a controlled substance and resisting a public officer. Parter was jailed on February 4th in the Catawba County Detention Facility under a $250,500 bond. An appearance in district court was scheduled on the 4th in Newton, with a court date in Randolph County on one of the trafficking charges coming up on February 17th. Thank you all for joining us here on the Crime Report. For WHKY, I'm Ralph Mangum, reminding you to keep it clean and to keep it legal.